What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. And today we're going to be discussing the pick swap that would lead to the Seattle Seahawks acquiring wide receiver Tyler Lockett, who is the big player in this trade. So this occurred back during the 2015 NFL Draft. And as you can see, I'm doing a different format as I did with the previous trade breakdowns for the NFL. I'm just still trying to figure out how I want to do this. So NFL trade breakdowns are going to be a little more wordy than MLB just because I can try to be basic, but it's going to be a little more messy if I do that. So we're just going to experiment with it. We'll see how it goes. And I am still going to do the color coding. So with the original pick swap saw Seattle acquire the 69th pick in the draft from Washington in exchange for 4 picks in the 95th overall, the 112th, the 167th, and the 181st. So how did these picks go, and why are there asterisks by pick 112 and 181? We will get to that very shortly. So with the 69th pick, the Seattle Seahawks would select wide receiver Tyler Lockett. And Tyler Lockett, he's been a solid above-average kick returner ever since debuting, but he's been more than that. So he's truly developed into a number one receiver in recent years in particular. He is a one-time Pro Bowler, one-time first-team All-Pro, and a two-time second-team All-Pro. He showed great chemistry with Russell Wilson, which is what you want with your wide receiver 1 and your quarterback. So very good pickup for Seattle. Now, how did Washington do? So Washington would select running back Matt Jones with the 95th pick. And Matt Jones started off strong, but injuries really started taking their toll towards the end of his first year and then into his second year. His second year was specifically bad. And even when he was back from injuries, he did not look good. And he ends up getting released after just 2 years. But he did have a solid first year for Washington. With the 112th pick, they would select guard Ari Kouangio. So how did Kouangio do? He appeared in 8 games and 2 starts over 2 seasons for the team before being released. So nothing great from that. With the 167th pick, the Washington team would actually trade that pick to the New Orleans Saints, who would select Damian Swann. And they traded that pick for pick 187 in this draft alongside a 2016 6th-round pick. So Damian Swann for New Orleans, just to quickly hit that one, he appeared in 7 games over 2 seasons for the Saints, and he really did deal with injuries before being released. As for the pick that the Washington got, 187, they would select wide receiver Evan Spencer. And Evan Spencer was released before ever playing an NFL snap. That's normal for 6th-round picks. It's not ideal, but it is normal. And then the last pick that Washington got was the 181st pick, which they used to select strong safety, Kashawn Jarrett, who really had a strong, solid rookie campaign. He actually started all 16 games, he appeared in all 16 games, and he started 6 of them. But he did suffer some nerve damage in his arm during the Week 17 game that all but ended his season and his career, unfortunately for him. So it was just a really tough luck draw for Kashawn Jarrett, unfortunately, and Washington. So I had the asterisks, like I said, around 112 and 181. So both of these were trades that I had considered doing breakdown videos for, but since they fell into here, we might as well hit them now. So the first one, the 112th pick, saw Seattle acquire that pick, 112, alongside tight end Jimmy Graham from the New Orleans Saints in exchange for pick 31 and center Max Unger. So, with the 31st pick, the Saints would select linebacker Stephon Anthony. So let's start with Seattle here. With the 112th pick, obviously was traded. And Jimmy Graham. So Jimmy Graham, he had an up and down 3-year stint in Seattle. He did make 2 Pro Bowls for the team, but he wasn't as good as everyone was expecting him to be. And he wasn't able to prove that he was worthy of trading a first-round pick for and your starting center. So New Orleans, with the 31st pick, like I said, they got Stephon Anthony. Anthony spent 2 years in New Orleans, and he was okay, but he wasn't great. He didn't live up to the first-round hype, and he ends up getting traded to Miami. But in an effort to keep these videos shorter, I'm not going to discuss that trade. And then as for center Max Unger, Unger spent 4 years as the Saints starting center before retiring, and he made 1 Pro Bowl. Now, the second asterisk for pick 181 was because Seattle acquired pick 181 from the New York Jets in exchange for Percy Harvin. We already discussed 181. So Percy Harvin in New York, he had one really underwhelming season for the Jets before being released. Now, I mentioned here that 167 was traded to New Orleans for 181 and a 6th in 2016. So now we're at the 2016 draft, and the New Orleans 6th round pick would become 187th yet again. So with the 187th pick, Washington would select quarterback Nate Sudfeld. And Sudfeld only appeared or spent 1 year as Washington's third string quarterback before being released during the final 53-man cut in 2017. So all in all, who won this trade? Seattle. Again, there's no real war stat like there is in baseball, football, because it's next to impossible to compare an offensive tackle and a cornerback to a quarterback. But Seattle wins. They got Tyler Lockett. They had a couple seasons of Jimmy Graham, and really everyone did okay in this trade. I mean, everybody made out with something except the Jets, but they were such a minor player. It was a good trade all in all. Again, if you guys enjoyed this new format, let me know. If you don't, let me know. I'm going to try to change it up a little bit here and there to see how it looks. But again, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. This was the Tyler Lockett trade.